Honda makes a bit of everything. Personal jets, lawn equipment, outboard marine motors, generators, boats, ATVs, and most importantly, motorbikes and automobiles. Honda can do and make just about anything and has prided themselves on being one of the finest engine makers the world has ever seen. However, by 2040, Honda wants to step away from their identity as an engine builder and welcome the world of battery electric vehicles and hydrogen power. The next few years will prove to be crucial in this radical transformation for the Japanese legendary brand. Where will Honda's automotive division be by 2025? Today, we're going to try to find out. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kirk. I'll be heading to Nashville in about a week and a half to drive the all-new CR-V. So make sure you subscribe, you hit the bell icon because you don't want to miss my impressions of the all-new CR-V, the new hybrid system as well. And if you just missed my video on Acura and their near-term future, make sure to check that out because we know Acura and Honda are like peanut butter and jelly. They're the same company essentially, but Acura is that high-performance division of Honda. But anyways, let's get to Honda today and check into their near future. Let's go. We're starting with this year. This year has been crazy. I just got back from the Honda Civic Type R reveal party. The Honda Jet was there. It was just incredible, as well as a ton of generations of the Civic's history. The Civic has been out for 50 years. There's been 30 years of Type R heritage, and I will be driving the new Type R later this year. But what else happened in 2022 for Honda? It's been actually the year of SUV, they're calling it. We've had the new HR-V. I went to the Pacific Northwest to drive that. That was incredible. The car is bigger than the outgoing HR-V in just about every way. Has a little bit more power as well. Fuel efficiency is where it struggles, and I wish Honda had a hybrid for that. Speaking of hybrids, the Insight was also killed for 2022 as they will bring in a car to replace that. We'll talk about that when we get to 2023 here in a little bit, but we're still in 2022. We're getting the new CR-V, just talked about that. And by the end of the year, when I was at the Honda Civic Type R reveal, they did confirm that the Honda Pilot will get announced by the end of this year, kind of forming that triad of SUVs of the year of the SUV. So HR-V, CR-V, and Pilot. And the Pilot is arguably most interesting to me because it is going to be the first Honda on the large architecture platform. The only other vehicle on this platform is the Acura MDX, which I freaking adore. It's probably my favorite three-row crossover on the market. And I haven't tested all of them, but just know that the new MDX, just watch my reviews. It's fantastic, especially the Type S if you have $70K to drop on a luxury SUV. So that kind of sums it up for 2022. And we're going into 2023. Remember, we have 2024, 2025. We'll talk a little bit what comes after 2025 as well in this video. 2023 is going to be a pretty damn exciting year for Honda. We have the new Accord. Now, the new Accord could actually get revealed this year. I'm just going to put up the leaked patent images. And I was talking to some Honda people at the Type R reveal, and they know about the patent leaks. And they're like, well, the good news for you guys is that whenever you see those patent leaks, the real thing is just around the corner. So it could be revealed this year or early next year for the new Accord for 2023. Take what you want from the patented images. It kind of looks a little Ford Taurus-y to me. It's very, very basic, but I'll reserve my judgment, I guess, officially until I see it painted in the flesh, 3D, you guys know. We'll talk about Accord Powertrains as well here in a little bit. But we'll get some other new large platform vehicles. We talked about the Pilot bringing it in for 2022, but we're also getting the Odyssey redesign for the minivan. I can't wait. I love the Odyssey right now. In terms of ergonomics, it's probably my favorite minivan. The really only thing about the Odyssey that is not the best is that the vents are not built into the ceiling. So hopefully Honda can fix that with the new generation Odyssey on the new platform. We should also be getting a new Passport, and we know the Passport and the Pilot are just so similar, so it should just be a year later we get a redesign of the Passport and possibly a new Trail Sport as well. Remember, the Passport Trail Sport is supposed to be the off-roading, gussied up best that Honda has to offer for off-road, and their all-wheel drive system, the iVTM4, aka super handling all-wheel drive if you're an Acura. It's a phenomenal system, real torque vectoring, and works great. So I'm excited for the Passport, the Odyssey as well. We'll talk powertrains once we go over the last vehicle here for 2023, which is the Honda Civic Hybrid. This vehicle is already out in Europe, and we should be getting it after the Accord Hybrid, after the CR-V Hybrid hit our shores. So we're going to head on over to our Honda Powertrain spreadsheet because we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to tackle the Accord first because the Accord will share the same powertrains in theory as the CR-V to some extent. We'll have the 1.5 liter turbo on this guy right here, around 180 horsepower, but we should also have the 2 liter turbo as well that we currently have on, well, not the Type R setup, slightly due to, I guess it's down here, right? 252 horsepower on 273 pound-feet of torque with the 10-speed auto. I still think that is going to be reprising its role in the Accord, so I'm pretty excited for that. We know how great that 4-cylinder 2 liter is. Could we see like an SI version with the Type R engine? That would be amazing. Give it the 6-speed manual. I'd love to see that in the Accord. Just, it's not realistic, but it would be amazing, right? It'd be amazing for Honda to kind of send off the Accord. Maybe this is the last generation of non-electrified Accords before we get real deep into electrification in the future. So that'd be cool if we had something like an SI manual transmission, 300 horse. Anyways, don't get my hopes up. Also with the Accord, we'll be getting this new 4th generation hybrid. It's got 204 horsepower, 247 pound-feet of torque. It's got a 2 liter engine in it, as well as a eCVT, and it's good, should have no problem getting well over 40 miles per gallon, especially in town. Honda's hybrids are very efficient in town. So let's switch, since we're talking about hybrids, let's switch to the Civic Hybrid. Now in the EU, it produces 181 horsepower and 232 pound-feet of torque. Interestingly, I'm almost positive that this vehicle is already being built here in North America and being shipped over to Europe and sold exclusively in Europe for now. Maybe they're coming from Japan. I guess that's a possibility, but I can't wait for this. This is replacing that Insight like we talked about. Hopefully we see 50 miles per gallon on it. And I have the Corolla Hybrid here because the Corolla Hybrid is getting redesigned, and we'll be driving this by the end of the year as well as the, the new Crown, the Corolla Cross Hybrid, the new Highlander. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that. But yes, it should go head to head with the Corolla Hybrid. I expect the Corolla Hybrid to still eke it out in efficiency. And you also have to keep in mind the Corolla Hybrid now has all-wheel drive as an option. The Civic Hybrid is not going to have that. So they both offer different hybrid experiences. The Civic Hybrid going to offer a lot more performance, even edging out the 1.5 liter turbo. Not talking about the SI turbo tune that we see here, but definitely eking out just a little bit, especially with torque, versus the base 1.5 turbo like we see in the Touring and Grand Touring variants of the Civic. But what about the large architecture vehicles? We have the Pilot coming out this year, as well as the Passport probably next year. So 2023, right? As well as the Odyssey. I think the V6 is going to be the base for the Pilot, the Odyssey. Look, it is in the new MDX. So I think the V6 is still a lock, the tried and true. It would be nice to have a replacement of like the timing belt and finally get a timing chain on this sort of engine. That would be amazing, but I mean, I'm not expecting it. So I think the 10-speed automatic is going to replace all the 9 speeds that we have. I think the 9 speeds are the ZF and the 10 speeds are all built in-house by Honda. So 10-speed is a better transmission, no doubt, than that 9-speed. I mean, are we going to see the 3 liter turbo in the Pilot, the Passport, the Odyssey, future Ridgeline? I don't think so. I still think that's an exclusive Acura engine. So what about electrification? And I haven't put a lot of thought into this, but Honda's got to have either hybrid, or more desirable for me would be a plug-in hybrid with 25-30 miles, maybe even more of range, especially on the Pilot, maybe not the Passport, Trail Sport, or anything like that, but definitely the Odyssey. I think the Odyssey would benefit immensely. And if, gosh, and even in a future Ridgeline, if Honda wanted to put a plug-in hybrid in it and beat all the other competitors to the market with a plug-in hybrid pickup truck, that would be very, very tempting. But this is an area where Honda could really capitalize. We have the Pacifica from Chrysler that has a plug-in hybrid, but I think we need something from the Asian automakers, whether it's a Carnival, the Sienna hybrid's just crushing it right now. They can't make enough of those things, double the fuel economy of pretty much every other van out there, not counting the plug-in hybrid Pacifica. So we need something from Honda that's electrified, hopefully around 300 horsepower, 30 miles of range would be amazing. Could they do a basic hybrid on it? Yes, but we just don't know anything about it. We might hear something of a new hybrid when the Pilot is revealed later this year, and that might, answer some of our questions about the Odyssey. But anyways, I love minivans. That's why I like talking about the Odyssey so much. But I think that sums it up for 2023. Accord, Odyssey, Passport, Civic Hybrid. It's going to be a very busy year for Honda. So this video was going to be about 25 minutes or so. So I have to break it up into 2 parts. Otherwise, it'd just be a little too lengthy. Most of you guys wouldn't make it to the second half. So we'll post part 2 probably tomorrow, the day after this. Maybe if you're seeing this for the first time, way after that, way after the date I originally posted it, it will be on the playlist right after this. So make sure to watch part 2. Part 1 is summed up, which is pretty much 2022 and 2023. 2024, we'll look at electrification, the prologue, and lots of other stuff. So definitely stay tuned for the next video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss that. Thank you guys for watching part 1 of what's next for Honda, and stay tuned for many more what's next for all the Japanese.